Conference USA game is brought to you by Kelly Tires, a good deal on a great tire. And Phillips 66, where we put the best in our super clean gasoline so you get the most out of your car. Think smart, think performance, think Phillips 66. Back on the Al McGuire court at the Bradley Center. 19th ranked Marquette and Depaul. Blue Demons control the tip. Diener in the backcourt for Dave Leto's crew. That's Marlon Brooks, first out of the season for Brooks. Greer to the hoop, loses it. Merritt on the floor, tangled up. Depaul will get the basketball. Actually, Marquette will get the basketball. Starting lineups: Brown, Greer, Hoskin, Brooks, and Diener for the Blue Demons. Scott Merritt, Townsend, Jackson, Wade, and another Diener on the floor, Travis Diener for the Golden Eagles.
Going at one another right now, so you know this has happened 100 or 1,000 times before today. And Brooks in the lineup for DePaul is a smaller, more athletic guy trying to bother Wade defensively.
Diener in and out with a three-point attempt. At the rebound, Greer back the other way. Here comes Greg Diener.
And DePaul will take, they're very patient in the half-court set. They look to see what the defense gives them, but Brooks with the ball is very creative. He's a lot less effective in the half-court set. He's better in the open court. Brooks had a career-high 11 against TCU, actually East Carolina, last Sunday at All-State Arena. Shot clock is down to 6 by Diener to Brooks. Brooks will have to throw it up. 2 left on the clock. That time. And you see Brooks got his shot off, just didn't get it to drop, but he's got the ability to make it happen.
And Wade at the other end wastes no time. Marquette in a hurry, back the other way, didn't give DePaul a chance to regroup defensively, and Wade made them pay.
Brooks has got to get help. If he shoots, someone's got to help him, whether it be Diener or Cumont Greer, on getting back to Wade defensively.
Brooks working on Wade. Off of Wade's foot. They'll restart the shot clock. Series history between these two teams. Marquette leads 55-40, and they've won the last 4 meetings. But for the Blue Demons, this is the longest current rivalry in Blue Demon history.
A lot of great games between these two programs, and we expect to see the same today. Got a lot of intriguing matchups. You got the Dieners going at it. LeVar Seals here taking the 3.
Seals into the game, knocks down the tray.
LeVar Seals for DePaul, Mr. Energy.
Wade makes a move. Defended by Seals.
And Seals has athleticism to stay up with Wade.
Townsend knocks down the tray. Todd Townsend, sophomore, out of Chicago. Makes it a 5-3 lead for Marquette.
Somebody on DePaul didn't read the scouting report. Townsend, the majority of his shots are three-pointers.
4th in Conference USA on three-point shooting, and Marquette the steal. Back the other way. Wade all alone. Free throw line extended, no. Brown the rebound.
DePaul doesn't look to push it every time, but they are a good fast break team when they have the opportunity. Andre Brown runs the floor very well. Sam Hoskin, with such a big guy, is very mobile.
That's Hoskin back to the bucket. Not that time. Travis Diener the other way. Townsend again for 3. Someone pick him up for DePaul. Townsend makes them pay. 2 straight trays. Marquette off to a 5-point lead, 8-3.
Again, Marquette, very similar to DePaul in that they're not known as a fast break team, but they will take the opportunity when it's there. And Coach Leto is giving it to Cumont Greer. Nobody in sight of Townsend, who elevates for the easy triple. And he just got to get there and force Townsend to put it on the floor. Over 65% of his field goal attempts, Lou, are from three-point range.
Averages 7 points a game, and he started all 15. Marquette make it 16, including today. Games. Dave Leto, first season with the Blue Demons, 10-5. Came via UConn, where he was an associate under Jim Calhoun. Tom Green in his 4th season with the Marquette Golden Eagles at 68 and 38.
Really a benefit for Conference USA to get a coach like Leto to come into a Depaul program that was really struggling with its identity. Now they've got a fresh new look. Struggling right here, though, early against Marquette.
Marquette's defense all over Depaul. Back the other way, Diener finds Wade, who tosses one up. Can't get it to go down. Loose on the floor, and Greg Diener comes up with it.
You can believe with this officiating crew led by Ed Hightower, they're going to let these guys play.
Delonte Holland with the basketball. He's into the game for Dave Leto's crew. Holland to the bucket. Has it rejected by Townsend. He's called for the foul. Crowd thought they had all ball.
Delonte Holland, very athletic, long player. Nice use of the right elbow to create a little bit of space against Townsend and draw the foul. But DePaul gets a lot of their offense, Lou, in the half-court set. They like to do a 3-out, 3 perimeter players outside, and Hoskin and Andre Brown playing a high-low 2-man game on the interior.
Holland transferred from Vincennes University, where he was a leading scorer last year at 21 points a game. Junior college All-American. Knocks down 1 of 2. 8-4 Marquette lead. Early moments at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Scott Merritt back to the bucket. Was working on Hoskin, and Hoskin will be called for the foul. First foul on Hoskin. And a timeout on the floor. Marquette off to a nice start thanks to Todd Townsend's 3-point shooting and their leading scorer, Dwayne Wade. Back at the Bradley Center, where the Golden Eagles haven't lost in 2 years. Marquette leads DePaul early on, 8-4. On our Ameritrade scoreboard, elsewhere in Conference USA, Cincinnati wins at Shoemaker Center 83-79, 8th win in a row for Bob Huggins' Bearcats.
Bearcats put some points on the board, typically score in the high 60s, but oh, 83 points today. They put the ball in the hole, Lou.
Wade got Andre Brown in the air, drew the foul, and Dwayne Wade will go to the free throw line.
Dwayne Wade does a terrific job of use of fundamentals. You see the head fake right there. Got Andre Brown, a shot blocker, off his feet. Dwayne Wade, I've said it many times, I think is the best player in the country and does the best job of combining great athleticism with the fundamentals of the game, which is really lost on today's players.
He is the top scorer in Conference USA at over 23 points a game, and he has scored in double figures in 45 of 47 career games here at Marquette. It's both free throws to go down. He has 4. Marquette leads by 6. Drake Diener throws one up against his cousin Travis, and it falls.
Set play that time to get Drake one-on-one against Travis. Was able to elevate over Travis and get it off the glass. Tough shot.
As I said, they're cousins. There you see the numbers on both. Both played at Goodrich High School in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin.
And Drake, Lou, has really given up a lot of his offense to run the point guard out of necessity. Point guard position. He's really done a fantastic job, but his coaching staff would still like for him to stay aggressive offensively.
First time he's played the point. Wade hard to the hoop. Chased down his own shot and then knocked it out of bounds.
Drake utilized the touring team in Australia this past summer and played about half his minutes at the point guard position. Did a very good job, which gave the DePaul staff confidence to put him at that position.
Drake working on his cousin Travis up top. Holland. Okay, Holland in the game. Finds Seals. Seals around Townsend. Southpaw. That time on the three-point attempt, back the other way. Townsend in a hurry. Diener tried to get it to a streaking Townsend, who knocked it out of bounds.
Looked as though Townsend took his eyes off the ball just like a wide receiver does. Let's take a look. Yeah, he had his eyes on the rim and heard footsteps there. Got a little nervous with LeVar Seals coming.
Townsend with a couple of trays in this game already. Playing away the other 4 points.
Boy, Marquette played that play very well defensively. That was a set play to get Hoskin the ball. Townsend stayed in double team and forced the pass outside. Good job by Marquette.
Marquette, a very good defensive team. They allow 68 points a game, but their opponents shoot just 41% from the floor.
One of the guys we talked about early on, the activity of Andre Brown on the offensive glass. He needs to have a big game for DePaul to steal this win.
Brown at 9 rebounds a contest. Fourth best in Conference USA. Holland thought about it.
Marquette is in a matchup zone, so DePaul is a little confused about what they're running.
Seals for 3 short. Brown the rebound. One of the offensive boards we're talking about. Hoskin had Brown for a second in the paint.
Holland's got to shoot that open jumper. If you get an open look against these Golden Eagles, you have to take advantage because they close quickly on the defensive end.
Hoskin tossed one up against Terry Sanders, who's into the game for Tom Crean. They'll go to the line.
Now, here, this is the problem that Marquette will face all afternoon. Trying to keep a body on an active player like Andre Brown. Not a tremendous offensive player, but goes to the glass really well.
In our open, we talked about Sam Hoskin at the free throw line, leading scorer for the Blue Demons at almost 14 points a game as we look at Andre Brown there. Top rebounder on this DePaul squad, but Hoskin has struggled of late. He was held scoreless at Louisville on Wednesday, went 0 for 5 from the field. It was a bad loss for DePaul. They ended up losing that game at Freedom Hall, 71-43. 43 points, lowest point total in a game since the 97-98 season for the Blue Demons.
Joe Chapman with the ball, the freshman out of Bloom High School in Chicago Heights. Really going to be an outstanding ball player.
Very good three-point shooter. Speaking of threes, Thompson with a couple already. Diener reset, shot clock's down to 9. Makes a move. Sanders to Townsend again for 3. And again he hits.
Lou, there's no defense for that. Hugh Greer rotated out beautifully on Townsend. He just made a terrific shot from 3.
Golden Eagles had gone 2:45 without a bucket. Townsend with his 3rd tray already.
Oh, Holland looked like he got away with the walk there, trying to curl up the screen and get in the paint.
He finds Greer. And Diener on the back of his cousin. First foul on Drake Diener.
Let's look here. You see, good heads defense that time by Hugh Greer, but he had to come too far off of the pick and roll to come and guard Townsend, who just drained a tough triple that time.
Chapman finds Jackson in the paint. Nice find there by Chapman, but Jackson couldn't finish. Back the other way. Delonte Holland all the way to the hoop, draws the foul.
See, this is what we were talking about earlier, Lou. DePaul doesn't look to push every time, but they've got guys like LeVar Seals and Delonte Holland that can get in the open court and make things happen. Beautiful entry pass, but better recovery by Delonte Holland defensively to stop Jackson.
Holland at the line. First free throws today. 5-point lead for Marquette. Into the game, Marlon London. Back comes Sam Hoskin for DePaul. Brown and Diener will take seats.
Marlon London coming in as a backup point guard, transferred from Kansas. Played his first 2 years under Roy Williams. Very, very talented ball player, Lou, but a little gun shy on the offensive end.
Knee injury cut his season short last year. He played in 18 games under, at that time, head coach Pat Kennedy for the Blue Demons.
You see the Blue Demons going into their secondary defense, which is the 2-3 zone. They're primarily a man-to-man team.
Chapman harassed there by Holland. Holland will be called for the foul. First, the timeout on the floor. 4-point lead for Marquette. Ranked Marquette vying for its 5th consecutive win, leads early on over Depaul.
Let's look at Todd Townsend. Everyone knows he's a three-point shooter, but he's finding the creases in the defense. Depaul not rotating that time, but Dumont Greer got there late, and Townsend made him pay.
23 trays on the season for Todd Townsend.
Depaul back into their 2-3 zone. Not having any success early in the man-to-man. Trying to force the outside shot by anyone other than Townsend.
Townsend on the wing. Depaul doing a good job picking him up. Travis Diener no on the three-point attempt.
Good job of defensive rebounding at times. In particular, Delonte Holland, very difficult to rebound out of the zone. Paul did a good job that time.
There's Holland, finds Greer the hoop, had it rejected there by Jackson. Good help defense there from Marquette.
Looked like a really good play until Jackson at the last minute.
And Thompson knocks down his 4th tray. He has a dozen of Marquette's 16 points.
Lou, when you're shooting the ball like Townsend, the basket is as wide as the ocean.
Steven, he was 4 feet beyond the line that time.
Caught it in motion, had his momentum going towards the basket, let it fly. Nothing but cop.
Seals, no. A follow by Hoskins.
I'm impressed with this DePaul ball club right now. It could have wilted under the three-point barrage of Townsend, but they continue to attack the basket. Between Holland and Seals, they're getting to the basket and creating opportunities.
That's the one thing Lato's done with this crew. Sanders had it, lost it, got it back, and found Diener. Dave Lato's got the ball defending and rebounding. Greer with the nice block is out of bounds, so Marquette will keep the basketball.
Let's look at the help defense. Marlon London trying to swing out. Holland with a beautiful feed, but Jackson with the recovery. Great illustration of the team defensive philosophy of Tom Crean and his Golden Eagles.
A massive substitutions from Tom Crean. Into the game, Karan Bradley, Dwayne Wade, who's got the basketball, Terry Sanders, Steve Novak, Scott Mara. Shot clock runs out on Marquette. I think the guys that came off the bench weren't aware of the fact that the shot clock didn't reset after the block shot from DePaul.
And you have to defer to Dwayne Wade right now. He's the elder statesman on the floor for the Golden Eagles. He has to be aware of that and communicate with his teammates.
Joe Tully in for the ball. Tully, Holland, Hoskin, Greer, and London. London lost it, knocked it out of bounds. Now let's take a moment to thank our Conference USA corporate sponsor, Gatorade Thirst Quencher. It's in college basketball. Is it in you? And also Kelly Tires, a good deal on a great tire. 4 turnover for DePaul.
Marquette has had a little trouble picking the zone apart. DePaul doing a good job of everyone keeping a foot inside the field.
Novak knocks down the tray. Even though he's 6'10", a very good three-point shooter. 6th in Conference USA. That's his 17th triple of the year. An 8-point Marquette lead.
And very similar to Todd Townsend, Steve Novak shoots the majority of his shots from the three-point range. And this is just great illustration of the ball movement. You see each Marquette player not holding the ball too long, getting it to the open man, and finding Novak.
3-point shooting. Depaul 1 for 3. Marquette sizzling 5 for 8. In large part thanks to Todd Townsend, who has 4 of those 5 straight.
And Marquette is going to make someone else on the post besides Sam Hodgson beat them. They're double teaming him every time he gets the ball.
Wade knocked it out of bounds, and so much is made of the fact that Wade's such a great scorer at over 23 again, the lead at Conference USA. You forget that he's a terrific defensive player also.
Yes, he is. Leads this Marquette team in steals. Plays the passing lanes well. A lot of players with his ability on the offensive end don't transfer that athleticism on the defensive end, but that's what makes Dwayne Wade a complete ball player.
And a foul called on Terry Sanders. Paul was trying to inbound the basketball. Second foul on Sanders. We're at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Conference USA basketball. Depaul in 19th ranked Marquette. I'm Lou Cadellis. Stephen Bartow's alongside. Lou Neiman just 3 for 11 from the field. 6 for 13 Marquette. One of the big reasons they lead by 8. Foul called on Andre Brown on the back of Terry Sanders for Brown, his second.
That's going to hurt DePaul because Brown has gotten off to a slow start so far. Trying to get on the offensive glass, what he does best, and pick up the foul.
Cumon Greer replaces Brown, who takes a seat.
Last year, Lou, DePaul would have been done already this early in the ball game. Being down like this and giving up 5 threes already. But this team it's a new day for DePaul. And I expect them to play hard on the defensive end and get back in the game.
Greer gives it right back. Dave Leto not happy with his crew. Wants them to settle down. Getting caught up a little bit here in the Bradley Center crowd. DePaul scoreless in the last 2 minutes.
And Cumon Greer, a Milwaukee native, I'm sure he's got family and friends in the stands, would like to impress people. So sometimes you press a little bit when you're at home.
It's a Berkshire Academy here in Milwaukee. Novak looks down low, finds Merritt. Merritt back to the bucket, working on Greer. The soft hook short.
Scott Merritt is an enigma to a certain extent, Lou. 6'10", has all the skills, but sometimes you don't even know he's on the floor. Doesn't play to his size and isn't aggressive like he needs to be.
Timeout on the floor. Marquette leads by 8, 19-11. 7:50 left to play, first half.
Back in 1927, we pumped our first gallon of Phillips 66, and word got around we made pretty good gasoline. Our idea was treat customers like neighbors, because they are, and make sure that Phillips 66 gasoline is always good enough to keep their cars coming back week after week. It was a good idea 75 years ago, and you know what? It still is. Year after year, mile after mile, and for all the miles to come. Phillips 66.
All together in sync, so competitive. Brothers to the core, we late, don't forget it. In bad times and good, friend or foe. If life's a game you play, then I'm 1 for 0. All day in the dirt, my sweat's my paycheck. We're brothers to the core. It's like 1 for all, if one should fall, we tight despite the weather and fight for one cause. We're brothers to the core, so please believe me. Never forfeit the game, my team needs me. No one ever said success would come easy, but that's when my friends step in with LOVE.
This is a traffic jam. It's the same traffic jam you sit in whether you bought expensive tires or not. But the guy with the Kelly tires gets to sit on a bigger wallet. With limited tread life warranties up to 80,000 miles, Kelly is a good deal on a great tire.
Blue Demons with a tough time just getting points early on in this game. They've scored just 11, trailed by 8, 19-11. Welcome back to the Bradley Center. And we were talking about Scott Merritt before we went to break, Stephen, and this is a guy that I remember when he committed to Marquette. So much hoopla surrounding his announcement. And really, at 10 points a game and 7 rebounds a contest, and this is junior season, he still, I don't think, has lived up to the potential. Why?
Well, he's having a hard time putting it all together. And, you know, sometimes he plays hard and other times he doesn't. He hasn't learned to be consistent yet, but when he's on, Lou, he's one of the better big men in this conference. Can face up from 15 feet, has a nice jump shot, and has very good footwork in the post area. He just doesn't look to be aggressive enough.
Shot clock down to 10. London thought about it, now throws it up from three-point range, in and out. Greer checks on the rebound.
Mike Greer, we were talking about earlier, was an all-state tight end in football his junior year in high school.
Diener in and out with the tray. Pushing and shoving going on down low. And the foul is on number 45, Cumont Greer. Here you see the numbers on Merritt. Over 10 points a contest. Not bad around the bucket shooting-wise, and a decent free throw shooter, but I know that his head coach, Tom Crean, would like to see more scoring out of him, number one. And Tom Crean would also like to see Merritt utilize his passing skills more. He's a terrific passer for a guy his size at 6'10".
Got a terrific feel for the game, and I know he has to defer to Wade and also Robert Jackson, but he can, at 10 points a game, he's effective, but boy, he can really be dominant at certain times.
Wade working on Diener. Shot clock is down to 7. Merritt makes his move to the bucket and rolls in, and I guess we woke him up.
Yeah, I guess he felt his ears burning or something. Very good move for a 6'10" guy coming off the perimeter, getting all the way to the back. And
Depaul gives it back. First 2 points for Merritt. Marquette with another opportunity. They lead by 10. Watch Conference USA only from Plus at noon next week. Seth Greenberg, South Florida Bulls take on the 49ers of Charlotte. Then John Calipari's Memphis Tigers battle Southern Miss. Charlotte at South Florida, Southern Miss at Memphis next Saturday only from ESPN Plus.
Right now, Marquette is trying to get Wade off via the pick and roll. He's being guarded by Travis Diener, so he's going on the right side. Goes baseline, and really good help defensively by Cumont Greer that time.
Wade just with 4 points so far. Make it 6.
Perfect illustration of what we were talking about earlier. He goes left hard, uses a fundamental spin to get away from the defense.
Right, Diener all the way to the hoop. Did you see Wade defensively? He was beaten to the bucket. Because of his speed, he still caught up to Diener and blocked the shot out of bounds.
This young man is something special here. Didn't give up on the play. Came back, avoided the body contact with a really nice block. Great show of athleticism and defense right there.
Jackson back along with Travis Diener for Tom Crean. Delonte Howland loses it. Townsend grabs a loose ball. Examines the floor. Finds Diener. To Wade. Streaking for the slam.
Marquette cutting Depaul up in their secondary offense. Nice backdoor cut. Find by Diener. Finds the man on the baseline. Coach Lato's got to be beside himself right now, Lou. You want to come in and make a presence felt early, but his blue demons are really struggling with handling the ball. Nice find that time, and then there's that spin and a nice jump hook. Wayne Wade showing you both ends of the floor what he's capable of doing. And then I like the show of emotion. Not too cool, but really getting into it, getting after it.
And the last one thanks to the fine from Diener.
And Diener just tremendous point guard with great floor presence, driving and creating the opportunities for his teammates.
Travis Diener already with 5 assists to Marquette on a 13-3 run over the last 7:30. And now we see the defense that Tom Crean's crew features. Dave Lato with another timeout. Dave Lato again came from UConn, where he was on Jim Calhoun's staff, and he had this about his philosophy.
Well, just based on my past and what I've been around, I kind of coach that believes in you have to be in attack mode all the time, both on offense and defense. And so hopefully if we can stretch the floor out and be good at what we do in terms of creating turnovers and then be efficient offensively, that will work, especially in this conference, because I think it lends itself to that.
This is a better DePaul team defensively. Today we're seeing them struggle to get points, but he's really instituted a defense here that I don't think DePaul has seen in years, and it has showed. Marquette 9 for 18 from the floor today, so they haven't played the type of defense that we've seen this season today. And Marquette now back the other way. DePaul very sloppy on the offensive end. On the floor, bodies. Hoskin, Jackson. Jackson had control of it and had the presence of mind to call a timeout. Back to Lato's philosophy. He wanted these guys to play defense when he came to DePaul. He thought it might take a full season for these kids that he actually inherited from Pat Kennedy. He thought it might take a full season for them to buy into his defensive philosophy, but he said, you know what, they brought in during the preseason, during the non-conference schedule. Well,
DePaul and the players were looking for an identity. After the situation that took place last year, they were just reeling. And so when you have a floor general like Coach Lato comes in and lays the law down, they take to it.
Let's take a look at the Kelly Tigers' road to the tournament. First of all, the American Division. Cincinnati now 6-0 in league play after their win today over Charlotte. Marquette 4-1. DePaul 2-2. 10-5 overall. Those 10 wins more than they had all of last season. Blue Demons won just 9 games a year ago. On the other side, UAB, the big surprise, 3-1 in league play, 11-4 overall. Southern Miss up there also. Memphis at 2-2, 11-4, the preseason favorite.
Yeah, Memphis should be playing a little bit better, as well as Tulane, who was picked second in the national division, has really struggled at the beginning of the conference season.
DePaul with 7 turnovers in this contest so far. One of the big reasons why they trail by 14. Wade, left-handed dribble, finds Merritt up top. Down low, Jackson back to the bucket, working on Brown, and he walked.
Before the traveling violation, Lou, Marquette had really good spacing that time between their perimeter players and post players, allowing Jackson the room to operate.
Blue Demons haven't scored a field goal in over 5 minutes.
And we talk about their defense, but with the turnovers and the missed shots, it's very difficult to set up defensively.
Marquette on the run the other way. Merritt had the open three. Wade tosses one up, but he's fouled by Drake Diener. Wayne Wade will go back to the free throw line. He has 8 in this game.
There you see the ball movement of Marquette. You love playing with the guys that are unselfish like that. Townsend had a 3. Scott Merritt could have shot the ball that time, but he deferred to Dwayne Wade. And when you have a team of unselfish players that are this talented, that'll tell you why Marquette is ranked 19th in the country.
Wade misses his first free throw. Into the game for Dave Lato. Number 13, Chris Exelis.
Exelis is a gym rat, Lou. Is really the 3rd point guard on this team, but really loves to stay in the gym and work on his game. Very confident player with his outside shot. Coach Lato going deep into his best to find anything that'll work.
Hoskin trapped, lost it there for a second, but Exelis now with the basketball.
And I love this killer instinct of Marquette. They've got the ball down now and they're really starting to pressure them.
London, the nice spin move, and he found Brown streaking to the hoop.
Maybe that'll give DePaul some confidence offensively. Now that allows them to set up defensively. Exodus gets called for a cheap.
DePaul had gone 6 minutes without a field goal before that bucket there, the dunk by Brown.
Good pass out of the double team that time by Hoskin, and better play by London. Attacking the weak side of that pressure for Marquette.
Travis Diener to the line. Named to the Conference USA All-Freshman team last season. Sophomore out of Goodrich High School, knocks down the first. 86% free throw shooter.
I really like Travis. Tough-minded, great shooter, great floor presence, and won't back down. And you like guys like that you have to go to war with. Travis Diener is definitely one you can go to war with.
Marquette leads by 15. Exelis gets it to London. London working on Diener.
Marquette has Depaul just starting their offense so far out due to the pressure.
Hoskin thought about the three, now works on Jackson. Tosses one up, no. Merritt pulls down the rebound.
You notice everything is hard for Depaul on the offensive end. Every shot is contested. Besides the last dunk by Andre Brown, everything has been contested, and their points are not coming easy, whereas Marquette, with the crisp ball movement, are really finding openings.
Jackson rolls to the hoop, tried to get it to Merritt, gave it up. Exelis the other way. And it's turned over by Exelis, who tried to get it down low to Brown. Diener in a hurry, finds Merritt. The short jumper with the right hand gets it to go down. Scott Merritt with 4.
Merritt showing you some of his package right there. Nice selection with the jump hook going over Hoskin. Avoiding the contact and getting the shot to go.
Seals loses it. Back the other way, Travis Diener. Kicked by Diener, tries to save it. Goes out of bounds, and Diener in pain on the floor, but we'll go to a timeout first. 17-point lead for Marquette, 30-13 at the Bradley Center. Thanks to a stranglehold defense, Marquette scored 14 of the last 16 points. They lead 30-13 on the Ameritrade scoreboard. Look at that. 6th-ranked Kansas beating top-ranked Arizona. Number 2 Pitt wins by 1 in overtime against the Hoyas. Duke by 20 against Georgia Tech in ACC play. UConn early on over Villanova. Number 12 Notre Dame at the break. Beating Boston College, and there's your alma mater. 15th ranked Illinois wins over Penn State. Cutting Alana finally snapped that losing skid away from home. They had lost 2 in a row.
That's right. Well, you know the Illini aren't going to stay down long. They got a talented ball club and young, but they're trying to put it together.
Brooks, shot clock down to 9, made his move to the bucket, and drew the foul. Brooks will go to the free throw line. Marlon Brooks started the basketball game, was immediately replaced by LeVar Seals. Brooks had a tough time handling Dwayne Wade. Speaking of Wade, his first foul. And Brooks to the line where he shoots 79%.
Get up! And Lou, we look at this game today. Depaul is similar to the way Tulane Cincinnati was last week. Tulane trying to come into a hostile environment and steal a game, but you come in with turnovers in the first half and you get down so far you just can't fight your way back. Depaul with 11 first half turnovers can't expect to beat the number 19 team in the country with that kind of play.
The difference between this week and last week, Tulane just gave up the basketball. The turnovers for DePaul today, a direct result of Marquette's tough defense.
Great point. Great point of Marquette even extending their defense once they've got a double-digit lead with the press, the half-court press, and then the double teaming on the first pass have really caused problems for the Blue Demons.
Wade to the line. It's the first. Marquette led Conference USA in scoring defense last season. They allowed 59 points a game, 60 in league play. This year they're allowing 68 points a contest, but we're still seeing that full court pressure, that trapping that Tom Crean has had these kids playing here at Marquette since he's been head coach the last 4 years, and it's one of the reasons why he was Conference USA's Coach of the Year last year, and Marquette won 26 games and went to the tournament.
When you've got your superstar in Dwayne Wade playing just as hard a defense as anyone on the team, that sets a tremendous example of hard work and what it takes to be successful.
Brown hard to the hoop, had it blocked by Merritt. Beautiful play there by Brooks, who faked one way, went the other with a reverse lay-in.
That's what Marlon Brooks can do. Very creative player. You saw he was in with the tall timber, but wasn't afraid to get it done.
Merritt for three. Misses everything. All will go the other way to Depaul. Just over a minute left. Marquette's doubled up the Blue Demons here. Dave Lato will not give up. This team coming off a bad loss at Louisville back on Wednesday, 71-43. But if you've seen Louisville, you understand they're one of the top teams in the country right now. Brown had his shot rejected, but he drew the body foul from Scott Merritt.
And let's look here. Nice cut by Brown to free himself and to draw the foul. Nice set play by Depaul to try to get Andre Brown the ball in position where he can do something with it.
Second foul for Merritt. Brown misses the first of two. Coming up on our halftime report, Conference USA News and Notes will also feature the #1 scorer in Conference USA, Marquette's Dwayne Wade, and we'll run down the first half highlights brought to you by Kelly Tires and bring you the first half numbers.
As we watch Depaul try to get back in this ball game, Lou, they were at Cincinnati, going down 16 and closed the gap in the second half. So Depaul, they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to continue to play hard. They can get some breaks on the defensive end and get some easy layups. They can be right back in this ball game.
Wade looking for help. Sanders. Sanders up top. Thompson. He already has 4 threes. Not that time.
And you can see Coach Lato talking to Marlon London, saying London challenged the shot at his waist. He said he's not shooting from his waist, he's shooting from his release up top. Get your hands up defensively.
Marquette on a 16-5 run over the last 10 minutes. They've controlled the play here in the latter part of the first half. 3-second difference between the shot clock and game clock. London tosses one up and gets it to go down. London. His first 2 in the game.
Used his height and size advantage over Dieter that time to get in the paint and elevate.
Wade to the hoop. Had it rejected. Wanted a foul called. Loose on the floor. But the first half comes to a close with no call. First half, all Marquette in this contest. They lead by 14, 32-18, our first half. And 2 over the last 2 seasons. When leading at the half, they're up 14 over Depaul, 32-18. One of the big reasons why is Dwayne Wade with 11 in the first half.
Let's take a look at some of his package here. And just does a little bit of everything on the court and does a little bit of everything as well. And what makes him so special, we talked about earlier in the first half, he's solid on the offensive end, but he's just as solid, if not better, on the defensive end.
And a number you're not seeing there is Dwayne Wade with 5 steals in the first half.
Team leader for the Golden Eagles, gets out in the passing lanes, just causes havoc for opposing teams.
Team leader when it comes to swipes. 6th in Conference USA. Depaul opens the second half with the basketball. What will Depaul need to do here in the second half to get back in this game, Stephen?
Take care of the ball first and foremost and try to get some easy opportunities like that right there.
Easy opportunity for Cumont Greer. His first 2 in this game.
And that's a great way to start the second half for Depaul. Again, we'll say it again, they came back against Cincinnati at Shoemaker.
Jackson, the muscle move over Greer. He'll go to the line for the 3-point play. Robert Jackson.
Let's look at the movement here. Travis Diener goes across the lane to set a screen for Jackson. And then that's Scott Merritt at 6'10" with a nice post feed. Scott Merritt showing us what he can do.
Robert Jackson at the stripe. Lone senior on this team. Hadn't played a game for Marquette before this season. Gets the free throw to go down. overlooked because of the play of Dwayne Wade, but Robert Jackson, the guy that averages 16 points and almost 8 rebounds a game, the transfer from Mississippi State.
When you look at teams that are outstanding in their conference and have a chance to go deep into the tournament, first you look for guard play, and Marquette has that with Diener and Wade, obviously, but then you look at the interior play, and with Robert Jackson this year, he really provides them with an outstanding opportunity to go deep in the tournament.
Brown called for double dribble. Another turnover for DePaul. They're 12th in this game.
DePaul's just got to get some stops and get their energy level up. They're not showing a whole lot of emotion. They're playing hard, but they're not necessarily playing smart.
Travis Diener working on his cousin, Greg Diener. Wade got his defender in the air. LeVar Seals. Seals will be called for the foul. His first.
Let's look at the double team here. Nice post feed. Brown thinks he has an opening. And then there's Merritt and Wade to cause the turnover. That's the help side defense of Marquette that makes them so tough to score on.
Wade now 6 for 7 from the line today.
LeVar Seals committed the foul. Great athlete, 6'4", 180 sophomore for DePaul, but still learning how to play defense. Came to DePaul just not very sound defensively.
Came out of Providence, St. Louis, in the Chicago area. Down low, Andre Brown with the easy 2.
That time DePaul was able to take advantage of the total front by Robert Jackson, trying to front Brown. Nice high-low entry pass by Hoskins.
Brown kept in check so far, just with 4 points. Jackson hands it off to Wade, who finds Jackson. Free throw line extended. In and out, no. Tracks down his own miss. Down the baseline, hard to the hoop. And they call the blocking foul on Drake Diener.
Take a look at DePaul and how they're going to get back in this ball game. It's just like that, trying to get the ball inside and get some easy scores to be able to set up their defense. And then you see Merritt try to total front, trying to deny Andre Brown the basketball. And Hoskin, another big man with surprising passing skills, gets the ball right where Brown needs it.
Third foul on Drake Diener. Jackson to the line again. He led Mississippi State in rebounding at over 7 a game when he was there. 4th in scoring, over 11 points a contest, and he was 1st in field goal percentage, 54.5% from the field 2 years ago for Mississippi State in the SEC. And he knocks down the free throw. 17-point lead for Marquette. Points in the paint dominated by neither side. DePaul with a slight edge over Marquette, 16-14, but that does not include what Townsend's done from 3-point range and Dwayne Wade for the Golden Eagles. Brown loses it. Jackson comes up with the loose ball. Back the other way. Marquette's on the run.
Well, we have to see if Andre Brown ate his Wheaties this morning, because he can't get anything to go.
Diener for 3. Count it.
Nice dribble penetration by Wade. Find an open Diener, and you notice Diener slid away from the defense, found the opening. And that's just good basketball by Marquette.
20-point lead for the Golden Eagles, their largest of the afternoon. Another giveaway from DePaul. Wade misses the slam. Tom Crean asked if someone took Wade's feet out from under him. No foul called.
Let's see here if he took off too far. He took off, yeah, there may have been a little contact, but I think he took off a little too far, Lou. I know he can jump, but that looked like some Julius Erving stuff right there. Just came up short.
Not often you see that here at the Bradley Center from Dwayne Wade and his high wire out. He's been unbelievable today. Not only on the offensive end, but also defensively with 6 swipes.
Yeah, but Lou, even the great ones blow a tire every now and then.
I've seen MJ blow a couple this year. Hoskin using the backboard for the two.
That was a great illustration of what Sam Hoskin can do. This guy is 6'9", 250, and lost 40 pounds in the offseason to get to 250. But big man, very agile, can put it on the floor and also shoot the three.
Leading scorer for the Blue Demons. The 6 so far today, averages almost 14 a game. Back the other way. Cumont Greer knocks down the 2.
That's that break we talked about. Depaul getting the ball up the floor, looking for open opportunities. Good job of Depaul pushing the ball up.
Down low, Jackson working on 2 Depaul defenders, and Greer will be called for the foul. First a timeout on the floor. Marquette leads by 16. Wayne Wade leading the way for the Golden Eagles. We're at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee, where Marquette leads DePaul by 16, 42-26. Early minutes here in the second half. Sam Hoskin, Cumont Greer trying to get DePaul back in this basketball game. They've been perfect from the floor so far here in the second half after struggling in the first half with just 6 field goals.
And they're down 16 right now, but they're playing with a lot more fire in their bellies, and they're getting it done on the offensive end. They just need to come up with some stops here on the defensive end.
And as you mentioned earlier, not long ago at Shoemaker Center in Cincinnati, they trailed by 16, got back in a basketball game against Bob Huggins' Bearcats. So anything is possible with David Leto's crew. Leto has these Blue Demons fighting the full 40 minutes. Merritt, nice move around his defender, Cumont Greer.
And did you see what Merritt did on the baseline? He took Greer's positioning and used it against him. He felt the lean from Greer, spun the opposite way and lost it for a nice one-hand jump shot.
Merritt with 6 points. On the Seals. Finds Greer on the baseline, double team. Shot clock down to 8. Marvin London, top of the key, will have to get into the offense in a hurry. Shot clock down to 3. London now double team. Trapped. Shot clock violation for the Blue Demons. DePaul could not get into their offense.
And Marlon London as the point guard, recognizing going into the pick and roll situation, you've got to make something happen with 5 seconds left. You can't be 30 feet from the basket going back and forth and being indecisive.
18-point lead for the Golden Eagles. Vying for their 13th win of the season. They're 12-3 as we speak. In a tough American division in Conference USA, Cincinnati won earlier today. They're still perfect in league play at 5-0.
This is a high pick and roll. This is what Marquette goes to when the shot clock winds down.
Merritt all along. Great ball movement there from Marquette. Townsend following Merritt. By himself, Merritt with 8. Jackson pulls down the rebound. And another foul for the Blue Demons. Andre Brown. Actually, Drake Diener called for his 4th personal.
You see a little rendition of the weave there. Just a defensive breakdown that time. You see Cumont Greer leaves Merritt to double team the ball. Cardinal rule in basketball, you never leave your man if he's underneath the basket. And numerous defensive breakdowns by DePaul.
Marquette with 17 points off of 15 DePaul turnovers. Merritt at the free throw line, finds Jackson. Gets it to Novak up top. Diener against Exelis. Chapman had his 3 rejected there by Seals. The ball will go to DePaul.
And Chapman, the freshman, that time elevating for the jump shot. will learn to get his shot off quicker. That's the second time today he's had a three-point opportunity blocked.
Joe Chapman, Bloom High School, Sauk Village, Illinois. Breaking from chose Marquette over Indiana, Michigan State. Greer, not that time, and Chapman the rebound.
Cumot's feet were not set on that particular jump shot, resulting in the miss.
Diener's one eye there, and he misses the two.
Depaul really needs to push the ball off the floor a little bit more than they typically do to try to get some open looks, because they are really struggling in the half-court set.
Seals working around Merritt. Now trapped by Chapman. Dribbles the ball out of bounds. Another turnover, 16th for the Blue Demons. Timeout on the floor. Dave Lato doesn't know what to do. His team with just 26 points, they lead by 20. They trail by 20. Just 15 turnovers a game. They have 16 already in this contest.
A lot of that comes from the defensive pressure of Marquette. When you got guys like Merritt and Jackson at 6'10" inside, and then you got Townsend and Wade with the long arms, and then they're double teaming Seals this time, forcing another turnover. They've made slight defensive adjustments that have really paid dividends for them this afternoon.
11 Marquette steals. Depaul shooting just 39% from the floor, 17% from three-point range.
You see the nice ball movement from Marquette. Depaul, good defensive team, but is not able to pressure anybody out of anything. They just play solid defense, and so it allows Marquette to swing the ball around the perimeter and get open looks, just like Novak just had.
Terry Sanders, his third.
Set play to get Brown on the post.
Allen found Brown all alone.
That time Depaul used Excellence, the point guard, to set a cross screen on Scott Merritt, freeing Brown underneath for the open dunk.
6 points for Brown. 18-point Marquette lead. Merritt working on Brown, finds Novak. Novak, the big fella, can knock down the three. Not that time. Sanders with the huge offensive rebound, the follow, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play.
That play right there was illustrative of what's going on this afternoon. Sanders just wanted it more right here than Cumot Greer. Cumot had the position. Sanders didn't give up and gets a three-point play opportunity, but all that is effort. That's not height, that's not strength, that's just pure effort. And Marquette's getting it right now.
First 2 points for Sanders. Junior from here in Milwaukee misses the free throw, knocked out of bounds, timeout on the floor. Still a 20-point lead for Marquette, despite Andre Brown's 6 points. Marquette fans getting used to this type of play from their Golden Eagles. Marquette hasn't lost a game here at home in their last 24. We're back at the Bradley Center. I'm Lou Canellis along with Stephen Bardo. Blue Demons and Golden Eagles going at it. Let's take a look at some numbers. Shooting the rock, brought to you by Rolling Rock Beer. Grab a rock. 3-point numbers in specific. Depaul 1 for 6, 17%. Marquette 43%. 6 trays from the Golden Eagles. 4 from Todd Townsend, who actually knocked down those 4 threes early on. Wayne Wade also with a tray.
Paul's got to do something here soon to cut into this 20-point lead. They want to have any chance of getting back in this game.
Ball knocked out of bounds there by Sanders. The ball will get the basketball. As I look cross court, Daniel Marshall from the Bulls sitting in the crowd. Daniel at UConn. Dave Lato was the associate head coach of Jim Calhoun's 99 national championship team. Lato was there for that. Marshall now playing for the Bulls.
And I'll tell you the effect that Lato had on Marshall coming up to Milwaukee to provide some support for his old assistant coach. Knowing they need all the support they can get right now. Support us against the Golden Eagles. And Milwaukee has had their way this afternoon. I mean, Marquette, I should say, not Milwaukee.
Williams trail by 20.
Getting ahead of myself with a nice ball game.
Milwaukee with Denver in town in the NBA. Shot clock under 10. Jackson finds Wade. Up top, Karan Bradley walk with it. Into the game, Marlon London for Depaul. Tom Crean trying to keep his players focused in the game. They're up by 20. Maybe losing a bit of that focus there with the turnover and on the verge of the shot clock violation.
There's definitely not a sense of urgency in this ball game right now, but as a coach, whether you're Crean or Lato, you want to see your guys execute what you set out to do regardless of the score.
Foul and hop, skip, jump, but a foul on the floor first. Steve Novak called for the foul, his first.
And that's a tough matchup for Novak going against Delonte Holland. Delonte, really good athlete, very creative on the offensive end. At 6'7", able to put it on the floor.
Holland down low, London tosses one up, gets it to go down. Nice move there by the Kansas transfer.
And what we've seen of London this afternoon, as we look here at the last play, look at that entry pass. Around the defender, bounce pass to London underneath, who converts. But we look at London, and earlier in the game, the shot clock was running down. He took Travis Diener in the lane and got over him and scored. That time, made a really nice reverse layup and got fouled. But the time before, Nate cost him the turnover because he wasn't aggressive enough in the pick and roll set.
Wade all the way to the hoop, drew the foul from LeVar Seals. Back to London. You mentioned it earlier in the broadcast as we took a look at Dwayne Wade, who made his move to the bucket. Was fouled by Seals there going to the bucket. Back to London. You mentioned it earlier, Stephen, that in his second year at DePaul, they're hoping that Marlon London becomes a player that they thought he was when he transferred from Kansas. It's been a slow beginning for him in a Blue Demon uniform.
And I think what happens when you leave a program like Kansas and the high expectation level that they have, and then you come to a reeling DePaul program under Kennedy, and they were really struggling for an identity. Now he has to change coaches again, so this is his third regime in his college career, so he's still looking for a sense of comfort with this Blue Demon ball club.
Marlon Brooks into the game for DePaul. Dwayne Wade at the line with 15 after the 2 free throws. Back to the 20-point advantage for the Golden Eagles as we approach the midway point here in the second half.
You see this kind of 1-4 offense that they run. They have Hoskin in the middle and try to hit him and cut London and Brooks off of him, hoping for a mismatch underneath the basket.
London at the free throw line, the short jumper in and out. Holland the offensive rebound, short on the putback. Back down low, Hoskin follows with the 2. Back the other way, here comes Wade. Has it stripped away by London. And the Blue Demons are on the run. Waits for some teammates. Gets it back. Inside the line, too hard. Brown the offensive rebound. Lost it, loose on the floor. Diener had it and called a timeout. Great presence of mind by Travis Diener.
Nice exchange that time by both teams, getting up and down the floor. Dwayne Wade thought he had an easy opening here, but the Blue Demons don't give up defensively, and London gets his hand in there to make the play. Despite the score, you've got to be happy if you're Coach Lato, that type of effort from your ball club.
Coming up for Marquette on the schedule, Wednesday night right back here at the Bradley Center against East Carolina. Then they travel to Cincinnati, and if you missed it Earlier, the Bearcats won their 8th game in a row earlier today at the Shoemaker Center, knocking off Charlotte 83-79. For the Blue Demons, they've got Cincinnati at Allstate Arena in Rosemont, Illinois on Wednesday. And they hit the road next weekend at St. Louis before returning home for matchups against Charlotte and then the St. Marquette team.
We go back to the Marquette schedule. They have a tremendous matchup against one of the better teams out of the ACC in Wake Forest. And we're going to see Josh Howard, who is top 10 player in the country in my mind, go heads up with Dwayne Wade. So that'll be a special game, a special night with a nice ACC Conference USA matchup.
And you think Wade is the best shooting forward in the league, don't you, in the country?
I think Wade is the best player in the country. That's evident by that move right
As
there.
he shows us. Wow.
I think he's just got the total package, Lou, in terms of both ends of the floor, how he plays, his demeanor, and his leadership that he provides for this Marquette ball club.
Yeah, 17 in this game. Brought the crowd to its feet right there.
But I saw what Josh Howard of Wake Forest did to Kirk Penny in Wisconsin early in the year, locking him down. So that'll be an outstanding matchup. Once again, the illustration of the ball movement provides the opening, and look at that athleticism on the baseline.
Ball was on Robert Jackson, his second.
The hang time, where most of us would need a trampoline, Wade makes it look easy.
You're being modest. I remember you back on that Final Four team for the Fighting Illini. I saw a couple of those moves from Stephen Pardo. Heart of the hoop, Brooks. You remember those days, don't you?
Yeah, I remember my teammates doing that.
Brooks with 5. Now you're being modest.
Yeah, I remember the likes of Kendall Gill and Nick Anderson and Kenny Battle getting up around the rim like that. I was more grounded than that.
Jackson tried to get it to Townsend, but was fouled by Andre Brown. Jackson will go to the free throw line next weekend. Here on many of these ESPN Plus television stations. I'll be in Tampa for the Charlotte-South Florida game. We'll split up, partner. You'll go to the Pyramid in Memphis to go see Southern Miss take on John Calipari's Tigers. 2 o'clock Eastern tip-off for that game. And Memphis, after a slow start, trying to get back to the top spot in the National Division. They're trailing right now UAB. The Blazers under new head coach Mike Anderson, 3-1 in league play.
UAB is doing a terrific job, as is Southern Miss, who have gotten some very good wins early on, and they're always tough in Hattiesburg. Well, let's see what they can do with the Pyramid.
Jackson now 5 for 6 from the free throw line in this game, but Dwayne Wade, the highlight reel today. Marquette leads by 20. Season Marquette game was last year, March 1st, when these two teams squared off. Today, 17,025 here at the Bradley Center, watching Marquette lead by 20. On our Ameritrade scoreboard elsewhere in Conference USA, Cincinnati won its 8th in a row. Southern Miss leads in the first half against Houston. St. Louis pulling off a shocker at home against Memphis. And I'll tell you what, Savas Center, a tough place to play if you're an opponent. Tulane up 8 over UAB.
Tulane also a tough place to play, where Marquette last week went in and got a tremendous effort from Dwayne Wade and came out there with a victory. But despite them playing a little up and down, they're still very tough at home.
Alden with 4 now after the bucket. Wade at 35 in that game you're talking about. Merritt, defended by Hoskin, gives it up. Blue Demons on the run. Holland all the way to the hoop. Can't get the lane to go down. He'll go to the line. Top 25 scores. Top-ranked Arizona came back to beat Kansas easily by 17. Pitt wins in overtime against Georgetown. Duke, a 20-point winner in ACC play against Georgia Tech. UConn at the break up 5 against Nova. Notre Dame and Boston College tied at halftime, and Illinois beat Penn State by 12. Bill Self's Fighting Illini win 1 on the road. Georgia beat Auburn.
The job by Delonte Holland converting on the free throws. Saw an illustration of him getting to the basket after the steal. That was a little bit over 7 minutes left. If you're Dave Lato, you might try to do some different things just to see if your ball club can respond and continue to play hard.
Travis Diener working on his cousin, Drake Diener, who just fouled out. So Travis wins the family feud today.
Oh, and that hurts, Lou, because you know when they go back home, boy, he's going to hear about it. Drake is definitely going to hear about it. A little bit more incentive when you go after your cousin.
Drake was coached by his father, and Travis also coached by his uncle, Dick Diener, Goodrich High School in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. And Drake Diener leaves the game, having fouled out with just 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. And really, they need him on the floor if they're to be successful, because he's their point guard. He's the engine for the offense.
He is their engine, Lou, and he's also one of the better shooters. And he just didn't get that opportunity this afternoon to spot up, catch passes off the penetration from especially Holland, be able to create and kick out. He just didn't get those opportunities this afternoon.
Travis Diener to the line. Marquette leads by 16. He's 2 for 2 so far from the free throw line. I jinxed him. He has 5. And a nice job of running the offense.
Well, one sign when Marquette is doing really well is they have that balanced scoring. So Townsend got him started, and then Wade can score in bunches, and Jackson has done his part, and Merritt has gotten a chance to score underneath. So they've got really good production overall.
Made a move, pulls it back out, looking for help. Gets it to Holland. Holland, hop, skip, jump, throws one up, no. Hoskin pulls down the rebound and then puts it right back.
Well, Holland loves that hop, skip to get away from the defense. Had two tough shots, just wouldn't drop for him.
Hoskin with 10, 15-point lead for Marquette. Slowly but surely, Depaul chipping away at that deficit. Foul is called there on Brooks. And Wade will go to the line.
Ball's bringing Brooks in again to play one-on-one defense against Dwayne Wade. And Brooks at 6'1", trying to guard the 6'5" Wade. Very smart by Wade to get into the post and take advantage.
First foul on Brooks. Wade knocks down the first free throw. Last year, Wade led Marquette in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and block shots.
And probably popcorn sold as well, because he does it all.
Today he has 18. He's had better days shooting from the field, just 4 for 12. He misses that free throw. Merritt had it and lost it, so Depaul will get the basketball. And he's a real good shooter from the field. Shoots 56%, Dwayne Wade. So today, one of those rare days where he's had a tough time getting the ball to go into the bucket.
We have to credit Depaul and their perimeter defenders. They've done a pretty good job, specifically LeVar Seals did a pretty good job of staying with Wade.
Brooks needs help, finds London. Brown inside the paint area, no. Jackson pulls down the rebound.
Andre Brown had a good look that time, couldn't convert, but that's what the coaches want to see, is him get in the post and be more aggressive. Scores a majority of his points off the offensive line.
He lost control of it. In the offense. Finds Wade. Back to Diener for 3. Cook it. And he's helped up by his head coach and his teammates. Diener with 9.
Case of the point guard and off guard playing catch. Diener and Wade hooking up.
Brooks all the way around, hard to the hoop. And the foul is called on Travis Diener. So Brooks with the opportunity to go to the line in a 3-point play. Nice aggressiveness there from Marlon Brooks.
Marlon Brooks and Marlon London getting into it. I think Brooks urging London to shoot the ball. You see Brooks knows what to do when he gets the ball.
He was aggressive. Looked like Diener may have had the position underneath.
Yeah. Bang, bang play. That's the toughest call in basketball right there, is that charge or block underneath the basket. Let's take another look from a different angle, and feet have got to be set. They look pretty set to me. But Ed Hightower may be feeling a little bad for the Blue Demons, trying to give him a break.
You know Ed better than that. He does not feel bad for anyone.
Oh, this is true. That's why he's one of the best.
Brooks with 8 as he converts the free throw. 16-point Marquette lead. Back the other way, finds Merritt. Spins around Mel. And Hoskin pulls down the loose ball.
See, London looked like he wanted to go one-on-one.
Hoskin to the hoop, fouled by Merritt. Sam Hoskin will go to the free throw line. We took a look at the Cousins earlier at the top of the broadcast. Drake Diener has fouled out. He's had better days. Travis Diener, 9 points, 6 assists. Done a nice job running the offense for Tom Crean today.
Really has, and surprisingly a good rebounder for his size. Usually averages a little over 3 rebounds a game, so does a terrific job of being a floor general. Scores in double figures. And then you see here, he takes advantage of his opportunity. Open 3 and nails it.
Not a great three-point shooter either. Just 29% coming into this matchup, but not scared to take that three-point shot.
And you know what, Lou? I think he's a much better shooter than he's shooting this particular season. He got off slow and lost a little bit of his confidence, but I anticipate that number rising a few percentage points before the season's over.
He is only a sophomore, so he's still fitting in the Tom Crean system here at Marquette. Good thought about it. Back up top, Diener. Down low, Robert Jackson, fouled by Andre Brown. And for Brown, that's his 4th foul. We're at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. Depaul and 19th ranked Marquette. It's been all Golden Eagles so far today from start to finish. I'm Lou Cadella. Stephen Bardo is alongside. Marquette going for its 5th consecutive win. At the line, Golden Eagles 18 for 22. Depaul has struggled. Just 50% from the charity strike today, 8 of 16. As Jackson misses the first.
Robert Jackson, as we look at him at the free throw line, has really been the difference, as we talked about with this Marquette ball club, having the inside-out attack.
Jackson with 8 points. He has scored in double figures in every game this season, so another bucket to continue that streak. Q Montgrier knocks down the tray. Q Montgrier, 6'7", 220, out of Milwaukee here. He has 7.
Montgrier, tough ball player, and the glue for this Blue Demons ball club. Can play the 4 position, can also slide back to the 3. It does a lot of the dirty work that isn't seen on the statistics, but very important for a team's success.
There you get a shot at Dave Leto. There's Q Montgrier. 4-team All-American out of high school here in Milwaukee. At 25 against Temple last season. Averaging just under 10 a game as Diener knocks down the first of 2.
Spoke with assistant coach Gene Cross, and they just love the way Q Montgrier comes to work every single day.
Timeout on the floor. Marquette still maintains its big double-figure lead. Today's Conference USA game was brought to you by Phillips 66, where we put the best in our super clean gasoline so you get the most out of your car. Think smart, think performance, think Phillips 66. And Kelly Tires, a good deal on a great tire. Tom Crean's crew well on its way to a 13th win of the season. This after they finished up 26-7 last year. Most wins for a Marquette team since the 75-76 year. They finished the season ranked 9th. They lost Cordell Henry, Olama Namaka, and John Harris. They returned just 2 starters. And again, 13-3 and on their way to their 5th win in a row. What a job Crean's done here in 4 years at Marquette.
Crean, a tremendous young coach. Marquette very fortunate to pull him in from Michigan State. It comes from a coaching tree starting with Judd Heathcote at Michigan State that has been outstanding, producing Izzo and alike, and brings that same toughness from rebounding and defensive standpoint that they stress at Michigan State.
Conference USA Coach of the Year last season. As you said, was an assistant at Michigan State for 4 years. Also spent a year at Pitt. Spent 4 years at Western Kentucky. And this team plays hard defense and will not be beaten on the boards. Next Saturday on many of these ESPN Plus television stations, I'll be in Tampa as Charlotte takes to the road to battle Seth Greenberg's South Florida Bulls. And then Steven will be with John Rooney at the Pyramid in Memphis. Southern Miss and the Memphis Tigers, 2 o'clock Eastern tip-off for that contest. Again, on many of these ESPN Plus television stations around the country. Let's look at some scores on our Ameritrade scoreboard. Earlier today, Cincinnati won its 8th game in a row. 4-point winner over Charlotte, 83-79 at the Shoemaker Center. A couple of games in progress. Southern Miss leads by just a bucket against Houston in the first half. St. Louis in a thriller against Memphis. Bills lead by 4 late in that game. And Tulane trying to upset UAB. Blazers atop the national division.
And once again, perfect illustration of how hard it is to win on the road in Conference USA. Memphis trying to make a run and St. Louis late.
Brown the rebound. Back to Brooks.
Half the players didn't even hear the whistle.
17 turnovers for Depaul.
You just can't compete when you constantly give the ball up like that. I don't care how hard you play or how well you shoot the ball. You really can't overcome double-figure turnovers in the first half on the road against a national power like Marquette.
We saw turnovers kill Tulane last week at the Shoemaker Center against Cincinnati. It's happening to Depaul today. Under 3 minutes to go. Wade to the hoop. Tosses one up. He'll go to the line as he draws the foul.
As we look at Dwayne Wade, that move he just made, and then again, looking at his total package, what he's been able to provide his team today, and this is the one I love. The acrobatic move, getting funky along the baseline, is Dwayne Wade.
Wade with 18 in this game. Foul is on Cumon Greer, his 4th. Scott Merritt comes back for Robert Jackson. 19 points for Dwayne Wade thus far. Majority of those points coming from the free throw line.
And that last move Wade made to draw the foul, he threw 4 moves at Brooks to lose him on the perimeter to get to the basket. Such a confident ball player, and so many tools.
Hoskin finds Brown for the short jumper.
I like the 1-2 tandem inside of Hoskin and Brown. They really work well together. Just not their afternoon.
Marquette chewing up some of the clock now.
Marquette going to their weave. Now they'll bring one of the big men up to do the pick and roll.
Diener goes the other way. Up top, Novak. Count it.
Tough defense, rebounding, and unselfish play are the trademarks of Marquette basketball. And that time, Wade deferring to Novak for the open triple.
Knocked away by Wade. Back the other way. Here he comes. Goes high, and he is fouled by Cumon Greer, and he's fouled hard.
And that's more of a frustration foul on Cumon's part. Don't want to get shown up on the road.
The intentional foul will send Wade to the line, and Marquette will keep the basketball. Greer fouls out.
A little frustration that time. Cumon coming home, and You see Dwayne getting in the lane, getting in the passing lane, what he does well. And Cumont just lowers the boom on him.
Literally.
Made sure he didn't get it up, but man, just like to see him do it a little bit differently. Because it looked like there was a little bit something extra there, Lou, on that foul. And you never want to see a guy get hurt in this situation in a 19-point ball game.
Real fouls out with 7 points and 3 rebounds. And if you're head coach Tom Crean, you have to be real worried when you see your star go up like that and then get hammered, especially in the shoulder area. I know that a couple of the Golden Eagles went through shoulder surgery this offseason.
Yeah, and Cumont Greer, remember we said he used to play football. Now at 220, he's a solid guy. He really puts if he lowers the boom on you, you're gonna feel it. I know Crean was over there talking with referee Ed Hightower, letting him know his displeasure on the play. You have to be careful though when you have these games like this. Guys have pride and they get a little bit upset when they come home and don't perform quite as well as they think they should have.
Scott Merritt and Chris Grimm went through shoulder surgery this offseason for Marquette. Wade will go to the line where he's 12 for 14. He'll shoot this free throw all alone. 19-point lead for Marquette.
And believe me, Lou, there's an unwritten rule that in basketball, you get my guy, I get yours back. So when these two teams hook up again, believe me, Marquette will not forget about that right there. They will not forget about that hit Cumont put on Dwayne Wade.
About Wade for a second. It's been said that he needs to improve on his perimeter shooting, his ball handling, and his ball defender moves out there. Would you agree?
No. No. I think he is an efficient ball player. He doesn't have to use a lot of dribbles to get into position to score. And so I think if you're effective like he is off the dribble, I think he does just fine. And I think his shooting will improve as he gets older.
Novak walk with the basketball. They give it up to Depaul. 20-point lead for the Golden Eagles.
Marquette drops back into a little zone. Coach Crean trying something different.
London for 3. No. Novak grabs a loose ball.
At this point in the game, you just don't want anybody else to get hurt. Kind of pull the ball out, take some time off. And here comes a high screen and roll that Marquette likes to do in the shot clock running down.
Bradley in the paint throws one up, but is fouled. The foul is on London. Get all the information you want on your favorite Conference USA team. Go online right now at www.c-usasports.com. And we'll give you all the basketball and conference news from around the conference. And you'll see numbers like this, rebounding numbers for both teams. Today, Depaul out-rebounded Marquette 28-19. That doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't. But when you shoot the ball as well as Marquette has all afternoon and getting to the line, the rebounds don't mean quite as much.
Joe Chapman into the game. Marquette now enjoying its largest lead of the afternoon by 22. Todd Townsend takes a seat. We're at the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. 19th ranked Marquette giving it to Depaul. I'm Lou Canella. Stephen Bardos here. Brooks can't get the tray to go down. Hoskin follows. He'll go to the free throw line, followed by Chris Grimm. Marquette on its way to its 25th straight win at home here at the Bradley Center. Tough place to play.
Very impressive run by Marquette. And just the style of play, plus their great fan support they get here in Milwaukee, really makes it tough for opposing teams to come in.
Over 17,000 here at the Bradley Center today. That was in this game. Tom Crean had his team ready. Marquette didn't play this week. Last game was last Saturday night at Charlotte, where they knocked off the 49ers 67-64. They had lost 8 straight in a row. in Charlotte before that victory last Saturday.
And Charlotte, like a lot of other teams in the Conference USA, are so solid at home. Tremendous home court advantages, but Marquette, that's the mark of a highly ranked ball club going into hostile territory and still coming out with the victory.
Sanders to Novak, breaking to the bucket, fouled by London. Third foul by London.
Looking at the Depaul players, long faces, heads down. This is their second thumping that they've received, Lou. Went into Louisville, and the Cardinals really put it on them by a very similar score to what we're looking at right now.
Well, this was the true stretch for DePaul. They were 10-4 after their victory last Sunday against East Carolina, but they knew it would be tough at Freedom Hall, where they haven't won since 1975. Then they had to come here to the Bradley Center, and then next week they've got Cincinnati at home. Long in the three-point attempt, Brooks. Seals finishes. But that is all she wrote. Marquette led this game from start to finish. Controlled throughout thanks to their defense. They win by 21, 72-51. Golden Eagles have now won 5 in a row. They're 13-3. And DePaul falls to 10-6. They have dropped 3 straight. 72-51 for Stephen Barno. I'm Lou Canellis. This has been a presentation of ESPN Plus, the worldwide leader in collegiate sports television.